the children of the wind, to the ones that were carried across the oceans in chains, and later in search of freedom, to the scattered ones, whose blood is the African blood flowing in the foreign lands. This episode is for you. You have been called by so many names: Black Americans, Afro-Caribbeans, Afro-Latinos, Afro-Europeans, but beneath them all, you are just still an African child. This is your invitation home. This is not just a place for you. Africa is your true essence. You see, you were torn apart and you did not have a choice. Let us tell the truth. The trans-Antarctic slave trade was not just a physical separation. It was a spiritual amnesia. Millions of souls ripped from the womb of the earth and scattered like seeds. Seeds they thought would never grow again. But here you are, still standing, still rising, still reaching for something you couldn't name, because it has always been there and you have always felt it. That something is Africa calling your soul back home. Contrary to what many have said, Africa never turned her back on you. She wept, she moaned, but she waited with arms wide open, with the soil rich, buried under the dust and stones, waiting for the right hearts to return. Your ancestors left unwillingly, but you returned by choice, and that choice is a sacred choice. Your identity is not an add-on. It is not something you have to prove to someone. It is not something you have to borrow. It is not something that can be taken and should be taken from you whenever or however. You don't have to find the African identity like a trend. It is not a costume. It is not a hashtag. It is not a dance challenge in the internet. It is your root code. Therefore, no one can take it from you. You are born with the drums in your chest, with the knowing in your bones, even if you were raised in concrete. Your dreams still speak with this African rhythm. No matter how many generations have passed, you are not disconnected. You are the descendants of royalty disguised as struggle and deviance. You are the bridge between the two worlds. The Black diaspora carries something powerful: the memory of home, Africa, and the wisdom of survival wherever they are in diaspora. You have navigated systems that were never built to favor you, yet you have thrived. That wisdom was brought to you so that you can come home for such a time as this. And you have to bring home what you got. Bring back the medicine for restoration. Africa does not need saving. Africa needs her children to come back whole, to come back with your voice, to come back with your vision, to come back with your technology, to come back with your dreams, to come back with your art, and definitely with your soul. You are not returning empty. You are not returning in chains. You are returning out of free choice and fully equipped. Home is not just a place. It is a frequency. You don't have to move to Africa to come home. Coming home begins in the mind. At least teach yourself, educate yourself about Africa. Not what they tell you, but what you find out for yourself. Get an African friend or inhabitant that can share with you about the true experiences about Africa or being an African. When you reclaim your African name, when you learn your ancestors' languages and stories, when you invest in her soil, her people, and her future, when you walk with pride, knowing that you are not from the bottom, but you are from the beginning. Coming home means no longer asking for permissions to belong, because you do belong. So, to the scattered ones, you are not lost. You are the sacred seed returning to bloom. You are the prophecy being fulfilled. You are the thunder in exile, now becoming rain. Africa is not your past. Africa is your inheritance. And the gates are open. You just come home. This is not a podcast anymore. This is a summoning to all the African children abroad. This is to the children of Africa at home. This is to the elders abroad and at home. This is to the unborn children. This is the moment the ancestors marked with a lot of tears, pain, and fire. This is the awakening of the African flame. We are not just remembering, we are reigniting. Memory is the doorway, but fire is the destiny. We were never just meant to recall the greatness of Africa. We are meant to embody it. The pyramids were not just built by hands, they were built by consciousness. That same consciousness lives in me and you. Every time you rise in truth, you awaken it. Every time you speak your name with power, you fuel it. Every time you refuse to shrink, you fan the flame. This is not anesthesia. This is revolution of the spirit. The ancestors are not gone. They are within us and even part of the soil. We often say the ancestors are watching, but more truly, the ancestors are inside our blood. Your blood is older than you. The African blood still flows through all the children of Africa, abroad and at home, just as equally. They live in your jaws and they speak through your tongue. They rise in your spine, and when you dance, it is freedom for them. They move through your hands when you create, when you build, when you baraka others. You are not a descendant of the enslaved. You are the resurrected voice of the kings and the queens, the prophets, the builders, the healers, the sky watchers. The past is not behind you. The past is rising in you. To Africans on the continent, this is your hour too. This flame is not just for those returning. This is your divine hour too. No matter how much poverty, no matter how much oppressive the politics are, no matter the pain, you are standing on the holy ground. Do not wait for the outsiders to validate your worth. Do not beg for aid when your ancestors left you an inheritance. Every village is sacred. Every name has power. Every language is a key. Rise up to the occasion and wear your shoes, knowing that you are indeed royalty. Not because you asked for it, but because you were born into it. Africa doesn't need to become like the world. The world needs to remember what Africa truly is. This is not the end of the story. This is just a rebirth. Our story does not end with slavery. Our story ends not even with colonization. Our story does not end even with hashtags and storybooks and history books. It ends when we rise fully as we are, as African people, when we build with the ancestral vision, when we build in the higher consciousness and everyone is living according to their higher self. When we create economies that are rooted in the soul, when we teach our children not shame but sacred power, when we stop looking outward and begin to lead from within, because Africans' greatness re-enhances and is not in the past. It begins with me and you, because Africanness is not in the past. It is about me and you, and it begins with us. And this time, it will be led by the awakened spirits. You are the flame, not just the spark. I want you to hear this deeply. You are not born to be small. You are not born to just survive. You are not a footnote in somebody else's empire. You are the flame. You are the one that refuses to go out. You are the one that lights others up. You are the one that burns but not destroyed, but is purified and sanctified to awaken. Let the drums speak through you, if you can hear me. Let the ancestors dream through you. Let the future be born through you. Arise, O children of Africa. This story is ours to tell. Let our lives become the next scripture.